Dans la baie d'Auckland, il existait autrefois un homme qui était prêt à tout pour gagner. Il existait une équipe brutale, terrifiante, qui dominait ses adversaires par la peur et la violence. Un homme qui a dévoué sa vie entière au football et à son équipe. Elle est l'équipe la plus folle et la plus exubérante que l'histoire ait connue. De par ses joueurs rocambolesques et son style inimitable, elle est devenue un mythe. Et lui, cet homme, l'autre patronyme du football. « 14 janvier 1968. Nous sommes à Miami, il fait beau, il fait chaud, et les Packers viennent de remporter leur second Super Bowl, proclamant haut et fort le génie de leur coach et la supériorité de la NFL sur l'AFL. Dans l'ombre, un homme observe avec attention la scène, et se le promet. Un jour, il mènera cette équipe sur le toit du monde. Cet homme, c'est John Madden, 33 ans, coach des linebackers des Raiders d'Auckland et disciple indirect du roi Vince Lombardi.
The power sweep is the lead play in our offense.
And Vince Lombardi spoke on one play for 8 hours.
This is the play we feel that every defense that we face must stop.
One play, 8 hours.
This is what we call running to daylight.
I could have spoken on any subject for like 2 minutes.
Inside the defensive tackle, inside the defensive end.
And I realized at that point, I don't know a damn thing. You know, I'm a bluff. My knowledge was just surface.
L'expérience John Roche prend fin 1 an plus tard et le jeune Madden se verrait bien promu.
Al came in and talked to everyone and said, look, I'll talk to any one of you after the draft is over about being the head coach.
Mais la principale cible, c'est Chuck Noll, coordinateur défensif des Colts.
So Chuck got the job with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So now I'm thinking, Al had a guy that I think was Chuck, and now he doesn't have a guy. So if he doesn't have a guy, and why not me?
À seulement 33 ans, le propriétaire Al Davis se lie d'amitié avec le jeune homme à qui il confie les rênes de l'équipe. Si bien qu'entre le coach et le propriétaire, il n'y a personne d'autre dans l'organisme.
He wanted to win, and he believed in the Raiders, he believed in silver and black.
To take the people that we've drafted, to develop them, and someday they're ready to play and be a very good Oakland Raider.
All right, way to go, Herbie.
I only had 3 rules, and one was be on time,
Don't be late for meetings.
pay attention, play like hell when I tell you to.
You play hard when I tell you to.
Oh, everything had to be perfect. He prepared us so well. And when we lost, it wasn't John Madden's fault. I guarantee you.
As a coach, you know, when you yell at me, that doesn't do any good. And he looked at me and said, Art, don't be so sensitive. Just out of nowhere. Don't be so sensitive. But I was a sensitive person. And you know what? Never yelled at me again.
John a un fort tempérament et le fait savoir surtout aux arbitres.
Sometimes as a coach, you just had to yell.
You jerk! You big jerk!
It was easier to yell at officials than it was to players.
You don't call. Yeah, you!
He was what you want in a football coach. You want a guy who's gonna let his players play, let his players beat themselves, and fight for them. Sometimes you gotta let the horses run wild. And that's what John would do, let the horses run wild.
Here come all the Raiders!
Très vite, John Madden va imposer son style. Un jeu de contact, dur. La rigueur, le travail et l'effort. Même s'il est très à cheval sur les horaires, le jeune coach laisse pleine liberté à ses joueurs, dont la notoriété grandit auprès des fans. Il fédère toutes ces personnalités différentes et va former une équipe, un véritable groupe. John était un meneur d'hommes, explique George Atkinson. Il exigeait l'excellence de nous. Nos entraînements étaient presque plus durs que les matchs. Il exigeait la perfection. Il exigeait que nous soyons en forme optimale. Il exigeait que nous sachions exactement ce que nous faisions. Il nous préparait. Et c'est ce pourquoi les coachs sont là. Il nous préparait en nous mettant dans des situations où l'on était obligé de faire des gros jeux. En tant que joueurs, nous nous battions pour lui. C'était facile de jouer pour ce type. Et il nous traitait comme des hommes. Nous savions qu'il attendait de nous plus encore que juste gagner des matchs. Il nous préparait à ça. Pour ce qui est des joueurs, tous uniques et quasiment tous Hall of Famer, commençons par le quarterback, la légende Ken Stabler. The Snake, le serpent, est un modèle de décontraction sur le terrain et un vrai playboy en dehors. Son secret ? La confiance en soi.
Everybody's metabolism is different. Some people need 8 hours, some people need 3 hours. I don't really need an awful lot of sleep. I would read the game plan by the light of the jukebox sometimes. How much sleep do you need to go play 3 hours?
Snake, when the going was easy, Snake would get bored. When the going was tough, he was ready to play. He would be better in the fourth quarter if it was a tight game and we were behind. Conversely, if we were ahead by 20, 30 points, he could call a play in the huddle, and by the time he got to the line of scrimmage, forget what he just called.
He basically pitched the playbook to me and said, go win. It made me a better player to have that responsibility. What comes out of your mouth is going to dictate, a lot of success. You have the ability to take people from a 2-car garage to a 3-car garage by what you call in the huddle.
He's going right. 91 hook, 6 out on go.
I liked it when the players were in the huddle and they say, okay, this is what we want to do. This is a play we're calling.
Hey, Snake, let's don't butcher that damn 61 man on that blue goal.
Rather than a play being sent in and saying, hey, this is what they want us to run. When you put they on it, I think you kind of separate it. Now, we're not responsible for this. When you put we on it, then we're all in it together.
Stabler ne doute pas, ni de ses capacités, ni de ses coéquipiers. À commencer par l'excellent tight end Dave Casper. Pour sa première saison en tant que titulaire, The Ghost, le fantôme, ne passe pas inaperçu. Ultra polyvalent, il est capable de courir les longs tracés comme un vrai receveur et de bloquer comme un vrai tackle. Le George Kittle de l'époque.
I always got into the guy. I very seldom made a mistake. That's what I took most pride in. To me, if I had a great day receiving and a poor day blocking, it was bad. If you're going to be a great football player, you're going to be a little weird.
À sa droite, le premier receveur, c'est Fred Biletnikoff, dont l'hygiène de vie est pour le moins surprenante.
He'd be smoking a cigarette. He's like a 2-pack a guy a day since he was 10 years old. And he'd push his helmet back on his head and he would go in the John and throw up. Ralph, for 20 minutes in there. And then go to the edge of the tunnel and take one last drag of his cigarette and flip it and pull his face mask down and go make the Hall of Fame.
Long pass, a leap in the end zone. Biletnikoff makes the catch. Touchdown Raiders!
Maigre et agile, il utilise une matière spéciale, le Stickem. Sous forme de pâte gélatineuse, de poudre, voire même de spray. Cette résine va se propager dans tout l'effectif, et surtout chez le numéro 25. Les mains enduites de cette colle, Fred attrape tout ce qui lui passe au-dessus de la tête. Il ajoute aussi du chewing-gum, qu'il colle sur ses bandages. Biletnikoff est un tricheur ? Un peu. Biletnikoff est surtout un soldat, qui incarne parfaitement la mentalité des Raiders. Seule la victoire compte.
He was an ultimate Raider. He didn't ask permission. He took it.
L'autre légende, c'est le feu follet insaisissable Cliff Branch. Pas très costaud, Branch mise tout sur sa vitesse de pointe.
Hey, he would turn the light out before it got dark.
Out there, he couldn't catch a cold, but he could outrun everybody.
Cliff started yelling for the ball before he got his jock on. You know, Kenny, I got this guy, I own this guy, throw me the ball.
Right out here. When he was a young player, he would maybe in the third quarter say, hey, coach, I can beat my guy deep. And after he'd played for 5 or 6 years, the national anthem just finished, and he was right next to me and said, coach, I can beat my guy deep. I said, Cliff, we haven't even played it down yet. How do you even know who your guy is?
Branch committed highway robbery without a gun. Touchdown Raiders.
Les deux receveurs, suppléés du fantôme, vont faire briller le génial gaucher et la philosophie madénienne. Vitesse, verticalité, profondeur. Des passes tranchantes, rectilignes, vers des receveurs qu'il est souvent difficile de suivre en ligne droite. En outre, il ne faudrait pas oublier le jeu de course, la garantie d'une attaque pérenne. Composé de 2 running backs et de 2 fullbacks qui se passent tour à tour le flambeau pour alterner force, vitesse et agilité. Mark Van Ingen et Pete Banaszak pour les muscles et la red zone, Clarence Davis pour la finesse. Durant presque une décennie, l'attaque tourne comme une horloge suisse, faisant des ravages dans toutes les défenses du pays. Pour ce qui est de la ligne offensive, vous la connaissez déjà. Archel, Gene Upshaw, Bob Brown, Jim Otto, ultra agressifs, ultra offensifs, ils dominent leurs adversaires par la force. Ce qui marque avec eux, c'est le changement de mentalité. Les gros bras se jettent sur les défenseurs adverses, leur mettant d'énormes baffes.
Well, I had Jim Otto as a center, Hall of Fame. Gene Upshaw as a left guard, Hall of Fame. Art Shell, left tackle, Hall of Fame. Why wouldn't I do that? You know, if I...
De l'autre côté du terrain, c'est une autre histoire. Alors asseyez-vous.
This is perfect. This is perfect. So what are we talking about, man? Vegas? Vegas.
Talking about you.
Me?
You.
You talk about me? I'm not royalty, but thank you. This is wonderful.
Mené par son commandant-chef, le linebacker Phil Villapiano, le style de jeu est ultra agressif. Otis Stintrunk et John Matuska s'occupent des quarterbacks, quand Monte Johnson et Phil démolissent les coureurs adverses.
Tight end, you see. Excellent. Excellent reaction. Always thinking football.
Avec eux, Ted Hendricks, surnommé la cigogne folle. Excellent linebacker, bien que complètement perché.
At practice, he rode a horse out to the middle of the field. On the horse, he had on his Oakland Raider practice uniform, and he was wearing a German helmet with number 83 on the side of it for who knows why. And we all just kind of looked at each other and said, fits right in.
And he turned around and took a $100 bill out of his wallet and threw it in the toilet. And I said, what are you doing throwing a $100 bill in the toilet? He said, well, when I was standing up, brought my pants up, a $5 bill fell out of my front pocket into the toilet. I wasn't going in there for $5. That was the Raider mentality. That was what you were dealing with. That's what you're playing against. Those guys are weird.
Enfin, les lignes arrières se composent des pires raclures de l'histoire de la Ligue. Sans aucun doute, la secondary la plus effrayante. La seule qui rivalise avec la célébrissime Legion of Boom, The Death Patrol, The South Patrol. Le corner numéro 26, Skip Thomas, surnommé Dr. Death, les safeties George Atkinson, The Hitman, et Jack Tatum, l'assassin, et enfin l'ancien, le vieux Willie Brown. Maître des interceptions et longtemps recordman, Willie est très intelligent dans le jeu. Dès ses premières années, il réfléchit à un moyen de stopper les receveurs trop rapides pour lui.
I got directly in front of the receiver, and I said, well, if I knock him down and get my hands on him, I knew that there's no place for him to go. So I tried it, and it worked out for me fine.
Cet excès de violence sur les receveurs donnera lieu à la règle du contact interdit au-delà des 5 premiers yards, entre receveur et cornerback. En plus des règles qu'il fait évoluer, Willie dispose d'une faculté d'anticipation incroyable, à être toujours là où on ne l'attend pas. Dangereux au possible, le but premier de cette défense est de faire mal, de blesser physiquement, de tuer psychologiquement l'adversaire.
From the opening bell to the closing bell, you're going to get hit. You're going to get hit hard, and you're going to get hit consistently. We wanted to leave them with an impression that, hey, it's not a contact sport, this is a collision sport, and that's what we did. We made collisions with our receivers.
If he did make a catch, he paid a big price for it. He was going to get hit, he was going to get abused verbally, physically, any other thing we could do to take his mind off of what he had to do and just intimidate him a little. It was just kind of a feeling that once you became a Raider, you were going to go out and you were going to destroy people, you were going to hit them, you were going to intimidate them, and like we used to say in practice, first one cries a sissy.
If I got him in the throat, then you go like this. And if you snap the helmet off, can't open.
Sous les bras, béni soit ce qu'elle devienne. J'ai tout eu, même ce que je ne voulais pas. J'aime être ce que vous n'êtes pas. J'ai rien vu, j'ai rien entendu, mais je sais que vous n'y êtes pas.
Des tacles d'une extrême violence, souvent dangereux, parfois illégaux. Le football des années 70 sera un football brutal, où tous les coups seront permis. Les Raiders sont l'une des plus grandes équipes de l'histoire, dominantes physiquement et mentalement.
Ma carrière est incroyable. Si je vais en enfer, je paye le voyage. Tu peux m'atteindre, mais je suis injoignable. La haine que je traîne est insoignable. Je suis pas le nègre idéalement. Faisons drogue, sexe idéalement. J'ai quitté le terre-terre, au volant du RR. Tout de la cache, je suis un expert. T'as aimé sucer, j'ai aimé saisir.
Le truc, c'est que cette défense ne joue pas vraiment dans les règles. Lors de l'Opening Day en 1976, George Atkinson agresse gratuitement Lynn Swann. C'en est trop pour Chuck Noll, qui qualifiera les Raiders d'équipe criminelle.
Chuck Noll said that they were the criminal element of the NFL, but that was the way that those guys played.
L'agression scandalise toute la ligue et vient ternir encore un peu plus la mauvaise image d'Oakland.
Football and the ball wasn't even thrown to me. If he was playing the game of football, he would have tried to make the tackle on Franco Harris, who ran right past him. The illegal, delivered with what I would seem to be some type of malice. It's our contention. It was basically criminal.
We never go out on the field with the intentions of trying to hurt anyone, but we go out with the intentions of getting our job done. If he don't want to get hit, his best bet is not to show up when we play Sunday, because I guarantee he will get hit.
Anytime he comes in my area, George's area to catch a ball, he's going to get hit, and he's going to get hit hard. He's done a lot of mouthing off. Personally, I think he's more interested in being an announcer than he is a football player.
When we played Pittsburgh, it was a physical game, and those things are going to happen. You know, it wasn't only George Atkinson and Lynn Swann.
Pittsburgh was just like us. Very tough, very intimidating. I've seen Joe Green kick guys, stomp on guys, and he's a Hall of Fame player. I've seen Mel Blount grab Cliff Branch and pick him up and shake him like a rag doll and dump him on his head. Our team played within the rules. We were just so physical that a lot of people always accused you of these things because they couldn't beat you.
Winning Super Bowls is based on power and physicalness. Within the first 5 plays of a game, the other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard. When we came out of the huddle, we weren't looking for first downs. We wanted touchdowns. We wanted the big play. It's like having the bomb and being willing to drop. I didn't care as much about being respected as I cared about being feared and being imitated, and then respect could come after that. I love the idea that I know down deep they fear us. They fear everything about us.
Histoire que vous vous rendiez bien compte des crapules présents sur le terrain, petit florilège des pires actions à ne jamais reproduire sur un terrain amateur. Contact à l'aveugle, dans le dos, face mask, plongeon dans les genoux, les tibias, claque, coup de pied, coup de poing, bagarre à répétition, violence excessive. L'arsenal de triche est infini et ne s'arrête pas aux techniques de plaquage. Les coups de vis, les protections renforcées avec des plaquettes de plâtre, les chewing-gums, le stick-gum. Bref, dans le vocabulaire des Raiders, gagner signifie gagner. Et ce par n'importe quel moyen.
To tackle sweetness. I'll take you down. I want to fight you. One of my favorites. Don Mader does a little head fake, and he comes back to the inside, and I went, boom! And I caught him with my little pad here. Boom! He dropped. Poor Don Mader. But too bad. George Anderson, who was our trainer, lays plaster Paris around my arm, and then you tape over the top of that. So what I got here is a club.
Anytime you were playing a team with a dark jersey, you would have your protective, hand or arm color would be dark. Anytime you played a team that was wearing a white jersey, your protective things on your hands would be white so that you couldn't see them hold them.
A master of illegal pads. Look at John Matusak's arm or Gene Upshaw's arms. The pads on those arms were Bob Brown's thumb. He had a fake broken thumb for like 7 years. But what he used to do was come up and deliver this into like Elsie Greenwood's stomach, and he could drop Greenwood with one thumb.
I mean, if they were illegal or not, I'm not sure. Anything that you're wearing that is different has to be checked by the umpire in the pregame warm-up. Of course, you could not wear it in the pregame warm-up and then put it on for the game. I know that.
Everything kind of fit. Oakland being a very tough blue-collar city, very tough blue-collar team. Al being a tough guy, John being kind of a blue-collar type guy. Our logo being a pirate, wearing the color black.
Nobody in the league was wearing black and flaunting black like our owner, Mr. Davis. And then on game day, he would wear lily white.
Everyone refers to the Raiders as the bad guys. Are you?
Yeah, and I like that image. I think a lot of our players like the image. You know, we wear black. You see the cowboy movie, and a guy has a black hat and a white hat. The white hat's usually the good guy, and the black hat's the bad guy. And we got some physical players on our team. That's the way you have to play to win, and that's the way we play.
I'm being coached by Ray Malavasi. And this guy on the sideline just kept commenting and telling me what to do. And it was driving me nuts. And I thought it was somebody's father. So I went back in the huddle and I said, Ray, get that guy away from me. Get him away from me. Tell him to just shut up. I can't concentrate with him. Ray goes, Phil, that's your boss. I went, what? He says, that's Al Davis. I went, oh my God, I didn't know that.
Il est vrai que le propriétaire Al Davis est un peu envahissant. Proprio depuis 1963, c'est lui, le fondateur du pirate masqué et de ses couleurs noires. Personnage incontournable de la ligue, l'œuvre de Al Davis mériterait un épisode entier. Alors on ne va pas trop s'attarder sur lui aujourd'hui. La violence et la brutalité dégagées par l'équipe symbolisent cette rage de vaincre. Qu'importe la manière, seule la victoire compte. Just win, baby.
As a young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
Mais ce qui est assez inédit, c'est que tout passe par lui. Il n'existe aucun intermédiaire, aucun general manager entre le coach John Madden et Al Davis. Situation particulière peut-être, mais qui porte ses fruits.
The prime thing is you have to win. You have to win. Otherwise, you can't be a success in professional football.
Les Raiders ont le meilleur pourcentage de victoires de la décennie 70, à plus de 81%. Record toujours en cours et sûrement indétrônable. Le groupe s'est uni autour de son homme fort, John Madden. Mais lorsque les défaites commencent à s'accumuler en playoff, beaucoup vont remettre en question ce mode de fonctionnement.
John Madden coaches our football team. In 1969, when John was appointed head coach, my role with the Oakland Raiders changed from one of direction. I used to direct the football team even though I was the owner and not coaching.
You'd be disappointed, but doggone, you know, we're close. We're good. We're good. We're as good as they are.
Certains médias expliquent qu'en réalité, c'est Al Davis, le réel coach, et John Madden ne serait qu'un simple pion. Et quand les médias s'en mêlent,
Want to do is make excuses. But, yeah, my name's John. A hell of a time, I know, but anyway, John thinks that.
Just shows stupidity. Al made sure of the thing Al was supposed to make sure of, and John made sure of the things that he was supposed to take care of, which was the field.
Anything that I ever wanted that had to do with football, he supported me. It was a perfect situation. It was a perfect thing for me. I was never frustrated because I knew we were good. I knew we were close. And we never lost to a bad team. We lost to some of the greatest teams in the history of the NFL. The worst thing you could do is get into the playoffs, lose a championship game, and panic.
Malgré toutes ces victoires, jamais les Noirs et Argent ne voient le grand événement. Tout le pays déteste cette équipe, et les voir échouer année après année aux portes du Super Bowl, ça arrange bien tout le monde. Après la cuisante défaite en 73 en finale de conférence, les Raiders retrouvent des Dolphins en quête de triplé, qu'ils renversent dès le premier tour dans un match historique. Mais cette victoire n'est qu'une éclaircie dans le brouillard. Depuis 1967 et le Super Bowl perdu, leur parcours se stoppe systématiquement en finale de conférence. Pour sa première année, John Madden est défait par les Jets d'un Joe Namath en mission. L'année suivante, les Raiders se sont balayés par la puissance physique imposée par les Chiefs. Les Chiefs iront enterrer la bureaucratie mondaine et rebattre les cartes de toute la ligue. En 1970, la NFL inaugure alors son nouveau format. Et qui d'autre que des Colts en quête de rédemption et d'un papy Johnny Unitas à la poursuite de son passé. Les Colts s'imposent et s'en iront récupérer ce que le football leur doit. Afin d'être reconnu comme un grand coach, il faut gagner. Et au fond de lui, John Madden le sait. Ces Raiders sont des perdants. S'il veut être reconnu à sa juste valeur et gagner le respect de tous, les Raiders doivent s'imposer comme leurs rivaux ou c'en sera fini. Enfin, débarquent ces chers Steelers de Pittsburgh. Après l'action la plus iconique et la plus controversée de l'histoire, va naître cette légendaire rivalité. L'Immaculate Reception en 1972, puis une défaite en finale en 1974, et la finale sur un terrain gelé en 1975. Les Steelers symbolisent cet obstacle impossible à franchir. Cette génération dorée est au bord du précipice. Déjà 5 finales disputées et toujours le même constat. Les Raiders sont incapables de gagner sous la pression. S'ils échouent une dernière fois, l'histoire ne retiendra d'elle qu'une équipe brutale, malhonnête et craintive des hommes d'acier. Gagner. Gagner quoi qu'il arrive. Gagner quoi qu'il en coûte. Effacer ces piteux échecs et prouver que les Raiders ont les épaules pour devenir la meilleure équipe du monde. Voilà ce qui attend les hommes de John Madden à l'automne 1976.
To be a point in every game where you eliminate the outside. When you get closer to the game, the circle narrows, and then it gets to a point where it's just us against them.
This is our year because we catch a break in Chicago. No, we need to catch a break in Pittsburgh.
On l'aura compris, en septembre 1976, l'attente autour des Pirates est maximale. La saison régulière n'est qu'une formalité, une démonstration de puissance et du génie tactique de John Madden. Toujours aussi cliniques, les Silver and Black ne laissent qu'une seule défaite en chemin, face à des Patriots qu'ils recroiseront en Divisional Round. Endolori et crispé par l'enjeu, le match est irrespirable. Mais sur cet ultime plongeon, Ken Stabler délivre tout un stade et envoie les siens disputer une 6e et dernière finale de conférence. Cette fois, c'est sûr, c'est leur année. Et les fans, comme les joueurs, n'attendent qu'un seul adversaire. Tout le pays veut voir ce dernier affrontement. Impossible d'être sacré champion sans venir à bout des doubles tenants du titre. John Madden face à Chuck Noll. 2 énormes défenses, 2 équipes qui se détestent, une rivalité qui aura tenu en haleine tout le pays et qui va atteindre son paroxysme dans une dernière confrontation au sommet. Steelers, Raiders, acte 4, la rivalité la plus brutale de l'histoire, 2 équipes au sommet de leur art pour une place au Super Bowl. L'affrontement se tiendra dans une semaine en Californie.
All you gotta do is win. You lose, you go home.
Kings at the Oakland Coliseum, the home of the Oakland Raiders. Time and again, they've arrived at this point, the AFC Championship game, only to be, in one way or another, bitterly disappointed.
Swan, Atkinson, what Pittsburgh said, rivalry, it didn't mean anything at this point. But we're this close to the Super Bowl, and we can't let this one get away from us.
Amputé de Franco Harris et Rocky Blair, premier duo de running back à combiner 2 milliards au sol, le jeu de course des assiéristes n'est plus vraiment le même.
Their excuse was not having Franco and Rocky Blair. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Take the guys you got and go win. The game that we lost, I mean, we didn't have any excuses. I mean, they beat us. They beat the devil out of us. And you gotta dance with the girl that you brought.
A lot of people were saying, oh, you guys are lucky you didn't have him. I wanted Franco, and I wanted Rocky. I wanted everybody.
Dans un match bien défensif, comme ils en ont l'habitude, les Steelers sont incapables de courir et commettent une première erreur. Madden change de dispositif tactique et fait entrer un guard et un fullback supplémentaire. Et alors que les Steelers se préparent à une course, la supercherie fonctionne et les Raiders sont les premiers à ouvrir le score. Derrière se déroule un combat intense et plein de rancœur. Mais dans cette guerre d'usure, les Raiders sont tout simplement meilleurs et surclassent leurs rivaux dans tous les compartiments du jeu.
Spielberg play fakes, drops back. Here comes the rush. He gets rid of it to Bankston. Touchdown Raiders!
Les Steelers, l'épouvantail de la ligue, double champion en titre, est au tapis. Après avoir tué la dynastie des Dolphins, les Raiders viennent enfin à bout de leurs éternels rivaux et du règne des jaunes et noirs. Cette équipe est fantastique. Dans un stade en ébullition, l'index levé. Comme un seul homme, le peuple pirate tient sa revanche sur toutes ces années d'échecs, sur leurs rivaux et sur l'histoire. Les supporters envahissent la pelouse pour célébrer cette victoire qui aura su se faire attendre. Les vilains Californiens, longtemps éloignés, longtemps moqués, joueront le Super Bowl, 11e du nom.
You're just so happy. You know, you finally get there. And you probably do a lot of stupid things. I mean, I probably did. I could have, stuck my head in the toilet.
Beautiful thing is he comes out of the shower, looked like a dog with the hair on it. He just came around and shook everybody's hand just like a wet dog.
Going to the Super Bowl.
Dans le monument qu'est le stade Pasadena, la douceur du Super Bowl vient chatouiller les narines des supporters. Afin de faire taire leurs détracteurs une bonne fois pour toutes et pouvoir s'autoproclamer équipe légendaire, Raiders et Vikings n'ont besoin que d'une chose.
So here it is, the battle between two denied teams. The Vikings, who have 3 times been to the Super Bowl, never a winner. The Raiders 6 times on the threshold, not getting here. These are hungry football teams, and the world waits to find out who's going to wear that Super Bowl ring.
Mais le match démarre très mal, avec un retour de punt contré. Et très vite, ce sont les Vikings qui se retrouvent en position de force.
They take out the wide receivers and bring in 2 more offensive tackles. We called that jumbo. They had 1 play out of this. I'm yelling to our guys, we got them where we want them. We got them where we want them.
Second down, 2 to go for the Vikings.
Back and gives to McClanahan. Stonewall. There's a scramble. It may have been a fumble. Oakland recovers. Holy Toledo.
Great play made by Phil Filippiano.
I shot right by Yeri. Bam! The ball come out, it was so cool. I got to the sideline, and Madden comes over to me and he goes, "You okay?" He goes, "Tate is telling me you're screaming, we got him where we want him on the 2-yard line." I looked at coach, I said, "We did." And he goes.
Il est peut-être un peu tôt pour le dire, mais débordant de confiance, les Raiders en sont certains. C'est le tournant du match. Plus jamais les Vikings ne seront aussi proches d'inscrire un touchdown. Il est temps pour la machine endiablée de se mettre en marche. Derrière sa ligne offensive, le jeune Clarence Davis court 137 yards et Mark Van Ingen 73. Le jeu de course fait voler en éclats les lignes défensives. Annihilés par le jeu de blocage d'Archel, Gene Upshaw et Dave Dalby, les Purple People Eaters sont impuissants. Madden alterne ses coureurs et les styles de course, grignotant petit à petit le terrain et le moral des violets. Et quand le fullback Pete Banaszak franchit la ligne une première fois, il annonce la mise à mort des violets. Dave Casper et Fred Biletnikoff iront aussi de leur touchdown, avant de voir Banaszak doubler la mise. Le match est une véritable démonstration, une leçon de football façon Raiders. Elle joue juste face à des Vikings à bout de souffle. Le Super Bowl 11 est le match le plus abouti de chacun des joueurs présents sur le terrain. Il est le chef-d'œuvre ultime de la carrière de John Madden. Ces Raiders sont la meilleure équipe du monde.
And he looks and throws. Intercepted by the Oakland Raiders. Willie Brown at the 30, 40, 50. He's going all the way.
Symboliquement, la Saints Patrol, elle aussi, ira de son touchdown. Willie Brown intercepte Frank Tarkenton et s'en va proclamer la supériorité des Pirates à la face du monde.
Old Man Willie. Touchdown Raiders.
Waited a long time for it. We're number 1. That's it. We're number 1.
John slick watermelon.
There was a cameraman on the ground, and he was taking the shot up, and he didn't move. And my guys who were carrying me off didn't see him, and they tripped.
It was like the building that wasn't built correctly. John started moving in one direction, and you ain't stopping 300 and some pounds.
And it was like the London Bridge is falling down.
You don't care. I mean, I don't care if I would have fell on my head. You're so happy that that erases anything else.
The big stone in the middle represents Super Bowl 11. The 16 stones that make up the football represents the 16 victories. It has the score of the AFC Championship game against Pittsburgh, and it has pride on one side, poise on the other.
This ring, I'm sure, means the same thing to almost all of my teammates. So proud, says world champion, Oakland Raiders.
Maybe the fact that we'd chased it so long made it bigger to us. It was the greatest feeling in the world. There was nothing that can beat it.
Every game that there is, regular season game, playoff game, championship game, Super Bowl game, so all we could do is do it again. And that didn't excite me.
I've been here for 12 years with the Oakland Raiders and 10 years as a head coach. And those 10 years have been the happiest years of my life. I gave it everything I had. I don't have any more. I'm not resigning, I'm not quitting, I'm not doing anything. I'm retiring from football coaching, and I'm never going to coach again.
Et c'est ainsi que s'achève notre histoire. John Madden prend sa retraite sportive en 1978 et se lance dans le journalisme.
I really didn't respect broadcasting then. I mean, I wasn't a big fan of broadcasting. CBS offered me a job, I don't know, 4 or 5 games, and I said no. My agent at that time, he said, if you don't do it, they may not want you. I had to try it, so I tried it, and I really liked it. I mean, I really did like it.
Boom, we cross him. The left goes to the right goes to the left. This guy crosses here, he crosses here. They have no idea where we are, who we are, where we're coming from, or who we're throwing to.
Very interesting.
Devenant consultant pour la télévision, il incarne le savoir, la science du jeu, la passion à l'état brut. À travers la publicité, les jeux vidéo, le consulting ou même le journalisme, John Madden n'est plus le gros personnage gueulard et charismatique d'une génération noire et argentée, ni même le passionné commentateur sportif. Il devient le football. Il devient l'incarnation vivante de ce sport. John Madden voulait s'asseoir à la table des plus grands. Aujourd'hui, c'est à sa table à lui que les grands veulent s'asseoir.
We love John Madden. He was true to himself. He was true to the people that were around him. He cared about people. He loved people. He loved his players. He loved his family. And he only wanted the best for all of us.
He was a Hall of Fame football coach. He was a gigantic television star. Why? Because the bit of advice that everybody gets, that's easy to say but hard to follow, be yourself. He was able to be himself in spades, and people loved it.
I look at so many people that never did what they wanted to do. Maybe a little happy. I look at John Madden as the one guy that I could point to that did what he wanted to do his whole life.
We're number one. That's it. We're number one.
How can you find a game that you really like and you can stay in it your whole life? I mean, I'm so damn lucky that I was able to do that. No one can ever take it away from you. In 1976, we won this ring, and it's always ours. But bigger than the ring is the memories. You look at it and you remember all those players, and not only the big stars, but you remember them all, how they sacrificed, you remember what they did. You earned it, and you earned it by playing hard, and you earned it by winning. You earned it by being a champion.